Guys, it's Kayla. So a lot of people wanted me to make a video of my experience meeting Carly. So also a video of me meeting Emily, but that's gonna come later on. So me meeting Carly was like not expected whatsoever. I thought I was just gonna go to the show and that's it, which I was totally fine with, don't get me wrong. And because meet and greet was just too expensive, and yeah, so I wasn't expecting to get anything or meet anyone or anything. So then I had asked my mom, and she was saying how it was a school night, and she doesn't want me staying late at the buses. And so I was like, all right, whatever. At least I get to see the dancers live. And so as I was like getting out of the car, my mom was like, you know what? You can stay to meet some of the dancers for a little bit, like not for a while, not for too long, but you can stay for as many as you can meet. And then and I was like, oh, okay. I was so shocked. And then I didn't really know how long, like, she was going to let me stay. And so I was just kind of, like, holding out the whole time. So after the show, my friend and I, like, we knew where the bus doors were, and our seats were right near the door to go outside, one of the doors. And so we went out, and we were right in front of the stage door, and so we were waiting, and the time went by really fast because there were some cool people around us who we were talking to, and then there were two other girls from the fandom and my friend, and we were all just talking and laughing and having fun. And then I remember I called Rachel, and I was like, Rachel, I'm waiting, and I was like freaking out the whole time, and I was like texting Katie, harassing her, like, oh my, it was I think waiting for them was just like really fun. I don't know why. I thought that was like one of the best parts of the night. and and so yeah, so we were talking, and then like some people would like come out, and it was just like stage crew or whatever, and we were like we would freak out because we thought it was the dancer, and then we're like, oh, it's not the dancers. And then so then so then at one point some stage crew man, he like came out to like bring pizza to the buses. And like, okay, so say the door's here, so Carly was walking this way and the door's open still because they were like, people are coming out, and Carly was walking this way, and she was like hi, she was like, I'll be out in a little bit, I just need to put some more clothes on, because she was just in like a dress. And we were like, okay. And then she went up into some dressing room, and like I didn't really like get affected. Like, I mean, Carly, so I just thought like Carly talked to us. So I was like, oh my god, guys, she talked to us. And my friend was like, no, she talked to you. And I was like, no, she didn't. And, yeah, she did. She made like direct eye contact. And I was like, and then so I started crying. And then that was only like the fourth night I had cried that night. And so yeah, so then that happened, and then Marquette and Ricky, no, he didn't come out. Marquette and Rudy came out, and Zach came out too, but I didn't get to meet him because he had like gone to the end of the line first, or he at least skipped the beginning part of the line, and because we were meeting with like Rudy and Marquette, and then so I met with them, and then Jackie came out a little bit later. And so I was talking to her, and then Carly had gone out to put her makeup and stuff in the bus, and so I was like, oh my god, Carly, hi. And she was like, I'll be out and to meet you guys in a second. And then, so I was talking with Jackie and stuff, and she was like, oh, you must be there with Carly. I was like, oh my god. And she's like, yeah, Carly's been wanting to meet you. And I was like, oh my god. And I was freaking out. And then, so then Carly went back inside, and then came out with Val. And then, so Carly was like walking straight towards me to like meet me, and then like some other random people were like, oh, Carly, hi. And then so I was like, oh, all right. So she met with them, and she was like being nice and stuff and meeting them. And then I was like, okay. And then so she went and she came up to me. She's like, hi, Kayla, and gave me like the biggest hug. And I was like, you know who I am? She's like, of course, you're dancing with Carly. I was like, oh my god. And she was like, how would I not know who you are? I was like, I don't know. And so I was like thanking her, and I was freaking out, and then I started crying, and she was like, stop crying, you're gonna make me cry. And then like her eyes started to water a little bit. Okay guys, I'm trying not to cry. And so then we were talking, and then I gave her presents, and she was like, that's so sweet of you to bring me presents, you really didn't have to do that. I was like, I know, I really wanted to though. And So she was like, she opened the book and looked at it a little bit, and then she's like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to open these. And then, so then we were talking some more, and I don't remember everything because it was kind of like a blur, but we talked for like at least half an hour. And then we were talking about how amazing she was in Dirty Diana, and she was like, oh yeah, we just added that to the tour. And she was like, because I had gotten hurt doing it. And I was like, oh, is that how you got your concussion? And she was like, yeah. And she was like, I hit my head during one of the falls. I was like, oh, that didn't sound too good. And then we were talking about more of the dances, and I just kept telling her how perfect and beautiful she was. And I think at one point I mentioned how perfect her teeth was, which was just me being Kayla and being awkward. Of course I said that. Why? Like, why did I have to mention how perfect her teeth are? I'm too dumb. And then so then she was kind of like, oh, thanks. And so yeah, I really hope she doesn't remember that part. And and so then I was like, do you mind signing my tour book? She's like, no, of course. And then I was like, I can't really, like, I don't, what page do you want to sign? She's like, oh, I'll just sign the front. And then she like sat there and was like tapping her face. I was like, and she's like, I'm just trying to think of something to write. I want it to be special. And I was like, oh, okay. And then so I was waiting. And then, so I gave her my marker for her to write with. And then she was like, to Kayla. And then she's like, thank you for being my #1 fan. And like drew hearts inside her name. And I think she started to write like being, she spelled being wrong. First she spelled it BEINE. And then I had to like fix it. You can see like a little line in the G. But, so yeah, and then she's like, sorry, I'm really tired. And I was like, it's fine. And then, so we're talking some more, and she's like, all right, I gotta go in. And I was like, oh, okay. I was like, bye. And then there was some more hugging in between all that. But like I said, I don't remember. We probably hugged 10 times, I would say, about 10 times. And so yeah, so then she met some other girls, like 2 other girls. And then, so I started talking to Val. And Val was so sweet, oh my goodness. And then, so then I was in the middle of talking to Val, and Carly turned. She's like, bye, Kayla. I was like, bye, Carly. And she's like, so great meeting you. I was like, you too. And then, so, yeah, that was my experience meeting my favorite in the world. And I'm so grateful for everyone, like, literally some people, like, everyone who tweeted her saying I was waiting by the buses, like, thank you. Like, if I have any advice for anyone going to see the show, if you're waiting by the buses, make sure your favorite knows you're waiting by the buses, because if people hadn't tweeted her that I was waiting by the buses, I wouldn't have been able to meet her. So thank you times a million. You literally made this happen, literally. And then just like an add-on, so afterwards I had checked my phone, and I had like 3 missed calls from my mom, and I had text messages like, Kayla, answer your phone, Kayla. She was like, we're leaving now. She was like, I'm so mad. And I was like, oh my God. So I looked over at my friend, and I was like, we can't wait. Like, we need to go now. And so we started walking towards my mom, and like my mom was walking towards us, and she looked so mad. And I was like, oh my God. And then so I was like, so I got to meet Carly, and my mom's like, whatever. I was like, I could tell she was really mad at me, because my mom doesn't get mad. And so we were in the car, and so this was me kind of being a bad child. And so I had turned my phone off as we were walking, and she was like, why did you answer my text? I was like, it died. And she was like, oh, I bet you got tons of pictures on it. I was like, no, I used Kelly and my friend's iPod. And she was like, sure. I was like, can I try my phone? She was like, no. And I was like, okay. And then so it was like hard. I wanted to text everyone and tweet pictures and stuff, but I had to contain myself. And I was sitting there, and I was so nervous. I was just waiting for her to start screaming at me. And then, so I charged it, and turned it on. And so, yeah, so then that happened. And then we ended up getting home, and Kelly was like, oh, Emily and Tanisha ended up coming out. And I was like, oh, I would have loved to meet them. And Mom was like, oh, why didn't you stay longer and meet them? I was like, why? Like, you made me just go home. But yeah, overall, it was a night I will never, ever, 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 ever forget. And like, I want to say, I just want to thank everyone who tweeted her saying I was waiting by the buses. You all are amazing. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you liked watching it. Thanks for watching so much.